morning when it's really packed, they have the pushers to make the people inside the train so they can close the door at least. It sounds very ridiculous, but it's kind of polite because the people have to go to their office in time, but the trains, it doesn't have enough space and they need someone to push them in so at least they can reach the office in time. Everybody's like kind of nice and looks perfect, but inside it's different. Inside the house or like, when there's nobody's watching or nobody can see it, there's many things, strange things is going on. I think every train, at least one guy is touching some girl, like we call chikan. It was not so special. I think it's more difficult to never get sexual harassment in their life. Now it's changing and there's a lot of news coming out that many chikan has been quoted because the girls are kind of starting to stop the chikan. It's kind of big social issue now because it depends on only the girl. If she says, this guy touched me, of course every time, even if he really did it, everybody's, saying that I didn't do that. Critical things is that they're going to lose their job and it's difficult to get a new job, so they kind of, cannot have their normal life anymore. Still, there's so many girls that they don't talk about this sexual harassment because it's also shame or something. We had this seppuku, which is suicide, but it's very beautiful way to die. Its story is about 200 years ago. It's for samurai. If you did something wrong, you always have to kill by yourself in front of everybody by using this sword, and you put it in your stomach and you do it by your hand, cut your body in two pieces. This is old story. There's no more samurai in Japan. If you are afraid of killing by yourself, you mean it's very ashamed of you. In Japan, there's a very high suicide rate, and the most popular way to suicide is jumping in a train, especially on Yamanote line. Maybe it's too many people in very small area and we're getting less communication with the others, like packed trains full of the people, but actually nobody knows each other. I think the mental health will be weak when you live in this big city like this. And if it's too crowded, I think people will get suicide easily because it's a natural way, I think. If you die, people get more rooms actually. So it helps somebody else. But if you keep living, actually you are wasting of the space. If you die, everybody's happy. I have the kids, I have my wife, which makes from outside it looks very happy, but somehow inside you're very lonely sometimes. Even if you are in front of your kids, you still feel lonely. It sounds very strange, but it's very difficult to explain. I don't know. I think many people even if they have a family, sometimes they are not confident that you really need it or not. Or sometimes you get very tired or maybe too much pressures. When you decide if you're gonna really suicide or not, the Tokyo city has something to push your back. When you're very close to, do the suicide, it's really that last 1% you need to, somebody to push your back into this Yamanote line. I think because there's the pushers is there, it pushes you back always. Somehow, when you cannot decide to suicide or not, but this city will fix your mind to get suicide. Everybody at least thinking about suicide sometimes. I have thinking about suicide one time, but I didn't do it because I wanted to see the future. I also was interested about dying because you don't have to do anything anymore. It's finished, and you don't know what happens when you die anyway, so it's also another choice that you can have. If I really keep using this packed train every day, maybe I can decide that suicide is better somehow.